Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. As always, my name is Shogun Shin and you are the audience, and I apologize for such a late stream for tonight. As I stated previously yesterday, I had a thing that I needed to take care of and I wasn't sure when it was going to get done. And it went a little bit later than I expected, as well as I actually ran into some problems starting streams, so I had to figure that out. In which I found out that uninstalling and reinstalling iTunes fixed my problem for streaming, which is very strange. Didn't think that was going to be the case, but it is. But with that being said, it is, well, technically it is now Saturday, but it is still Friday in some parts of the world, and that means that October 10th, and that means that the Champions Cup or the Cancer Cup for Champions Meet has started in Umamusume for today. It is the first day, so we are going to be running through our entries for to see how round 1 ends up going. We need to get 3 wins in order to get to Group A, and we have 4 entries to do so to try and facilitate that goal. I have a couple strategies to implement. So several of these attempts are going to be us kind of experimenting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. I believe we should have, so it should be today and tomorrow. We should be able to kind of experiment, see what works, what doesn't. The first strategy I have is to run a front runner blocker, a debuffer, and a pace chaser to try and close out for the ace. Or a pace chasing ace to try and close out. The other option, which I think will be a lot more consistent, is to run 3 front runners and just let them fly and have them try and just fight for it and see who comes out on top. So we have a couple ideas. We'll see what happens. We'll see what works, see what doesn't. I don't think I'm going to be running careers while we're before attempts and stuff like that, just because I've run a bunch already trying to prep for this, and I'm just so burnt out from it. Also, the Leo Cup is going to be at the end of October, so I gotta start prepping for that instead. So what we have is what we have, and honestly, at this point, I'm happy with whatever happens. I've accepted whatever results happen for this Champions Meet, because I really just want to move on, because I've been real stressed in trying to run stuff. So let's go and let's see what we can do. All right. So as you can see, I've run a lot of Fuji Kiseki runs because Fuji Kiseki is my 3rd front running ace. But we'll get to that. We won't do that just yet. So the first plan is we're going to run a Sakura Bakushin as a front running blocker. So her whole thing is to block all of the other enemy front runners and basically hold them back while we have a pace chasing ace, which will be a Contrapasa, and we have a debuffer in the form of Nice Nature to try and allow El Contrapasa basically a free shot at just eating everything up. So I have 3 Sakura Bakushin O's here. I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is I think we're going to run with this one. So we have Mile S, we have Focus, Tail Held High, Groundwork, Speed Eater, Hesitant Pace Chasers, Front Runners, Flustered End Closers. We don't have anything for Late Surgers, which is like the main thing. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But we'll run the Sakura Bakushin O. Then we're going to run, I think it's this one. Yeah. It's this Nice Nature, to which some of these skills aren't going to activate. So Mystifying Murmur is not going to work. Actually, it might be the only one that's not going to work. Yeah, Mystifying Murmur, I think, is the only thing that's not going to work, which is fine. We still have Sharp Gaze. We still have Hesitant End Closers. These Late Surger debuffs are going to be big just because of the fact that Sakura Bakushin O doesn't have any of the... Yeah, Sakura Bakushin O doesn't have any Late Surger debuffs. We have Speed Eater, which will be really good as just an catch-all for everything, but we do need that. And then for our pace chasing ace, we do have a couple options here. So we do have This El Condorpasa. I do have this one, which is a little bit, I think a little bit insane. So I'm not entirely sure about this one. So, yeah, so this El Condorpasa, the stamina is, obviously speed and power are the name of the game here. Guts is fine. Wits could have been a little bit higher. Stamina also could have been a little bit higher, but that's why we have the Swinging Maestro. The Unyielding Spirit, Final Corners, and Prepared to Pass should help a lot, and the Duty of Dignity should also really, really help. So we have that option, and then I have an older El Condorpasa that I actually really, that has really good stamina, really good power, really great speed, but it's actually the El Condorpasa that I used for Taurus Cup. So, and with Mile S, so I think this might be our best option, I think. But we do have a lot of different ideas. So I think what we're gonna do is so we have 4 attempts. We have 4 attempts for today. So I think we're gonna use 2 of them for this El Condorpasa, and then, or 1 attempt for this El Condorpasa, and then the other one for this 10.1k Condorpasa. Because I think these 2 are gonna be our best chances for this strategy. So for now, let's put in the one with the Mile S first, and yeah, and we'll run that, and we'll see what happens. Alright, let's begin matching. Let's do it. So begins our attempts at Cancer Cup. Here we go. Alright. So I'm over here for the race. Oh. Alright. I see. So yeah, so here we have several late surgers here. 1 pace chaser. I think these Sakura Bakushinos are going to be our also blockers, so this will be really interesting. I was actually expecting more front runners. I wasn't expecting nearly as many blockers. I think front running, from what I've seen online, front running is like the most consistent strategy. But maybe that's why, because there's more blockers. But I'm actually a little surprised. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
私が一番期待している馬娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。各馬娘、ゲートに入って体勢整いました。
The commentary is so much longer. All right, the gates are open. The race is on. El Condorpasa does end up starting with a late start, which is not good because she is our ace for this run. But we shall see how this goes. Subdued front runners does end up activating for Mean Nature, and our block machine currently is struggling in 3rd place, which is not good. Though that being said, it does feel like the other Bakushinos that are in this race are also going to be blockers, so I'm not too terribly concerned overall right now. Ramp Up does end up activating for Sakura Bakushin O to give her a little bit more speed, putting her in 2nd place. Swinging Maestro refilling some of the tank for El Condorpasa is very nice to see, but she is currently still in 6th place. Tail held high, and Miles Corners activates for Sakura Bakushin O. And as we round this corner, this is a mile race, so it's not very long. We're in the last 600 meters already. Sakura Bakushin activating Genius Bakushin to see if she can catch up. She is starting to ramp up just a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Hesitant late switches and hesitant pace switches does end up for the nice nature. The sharp gaze go with the flow for El Condorpasa, but it doesn't look like she's got enough speed or enough power to end up getting ahead in this race. It looks like the late surgers from the enemy team are what's going to be securing victory. These are going to be pretty fast races. Unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Alright, go next. We may not have power, which is actually really upsetting. I actually probably should have looked at those vodkas to see how much power they had.
6番人気は3番桜爆心王。ライバルたちは強力ですが、構想を期待したいですね。相性抜群のマイルで。
Okay, we do have a Daiwa Scarlet front runner here. That's good. A lot of late surgers here. Okay. I don't really know what exactly happens if you run into multiple front blockers. Certainly nothing good. Another late start. Another late start for El Contrapasa, which is a little upsetting, but our Sakura Bakshino does end up launching into first place, which is where we want to see here. We do want to keep an eye on this Daiwa Scarlet that is currently in second place because we do not want her to get out in front for this race. 1,200 meters are left, and El Contrapasa currently sits in fourth place and trying to catch up. Clusters and closers activate for both of our debuffers along with the flustered late surges to try and keep the rest of the pack at bay. Swinging Maestro activates for our ace along with the mile corners and shifting gears for Sakura Bakshino to keep her in first place as we get closer to the end of this race. Like I said, this is a mile race, so it's not very long and everything will happen in the blink of an eye if you're not paying attention. Speed Eater activates along, all the debuffs are coming out. Hesitant Pace Chasers, Angling and Scheming does end up activating for Sakura Bakshino, and she is pulling ahead. This 400 meters, and Sakura Bakshino is going to easily be able to close this out from what it looks like, which is what we like to see. The strategy is relatively paying off, but the late surgers are coming in really quickly. It's going to be tight. Oh, no! Oh. And unfortunately, at the end here, that Oguri Cap came in skyrocketing and steals away victory from us. That is actually unfortunate and very surprising, actually. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Damn. This Okanda Pass is really not like putting out. 2 late starts in a row is just insane. Man, that is actually kind of insane, the fact that we really didn't have we got robbed. We actually just got robbed. I'm speechless. We were so set up for that. All right. Oh, get on the board. Keep going. Keep going. A lot of power on that Oguri Cap, though. Alright, we don't have a late start for any of our runners, which is very good. Groundwork actually activated for Sakura Bakshino, which is actually really, really good. But that being said, she is currently in second place. We need Sakura Bakshino to catch up and make into first to try and block the Saiyan Sky. Contrapasa currently sitting in third, plus her late surges does end up activating from our main nature. This Sakura Bakshino does need to catch up because if that Saiyan Sky activates Angling and Scheming, it is all over for us and we will have no way to possibly catch up. Miles Corners does end up activating for Sakura Bakshino, trying to catch up. She's doing her best. She's getting close, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Prepared to Pass does end up activating. We need to pass into first right now before that Angling Scheming activates on that Saiyan Sky, or it's all over. The Angling Scheming does end up activating, and you can see Saiyan Sky already starting to accelerate, but it's not going to be enough. This is why we have the block machine, because that Saiyan Sky is all the way down, but from the outside, you do see a late surger coming in. On the outside, it looks like it's going to be Ibaka, so it's going to be a contest between Saiyan Sky and Baka here. Will Saiyan Sky be able to generate enough of a lead to be able to pass, or Ibaka catch up? And Saiyan Sky just barely crosses the line in first. And unfortunately, that is just another loss for us. Yeah, exactly why we need the. It's exactly what. That's why we have the front runner blocker for Sakura Bakshino. We need to stop Seiyun Sky. Because if that angling scheming activates, we're fucking sunk. We're absolutely sunk. Unfortunate. X with the 53 months, appreciate it. Right. A lot of late surgers. I'm actually really surprised at how many late surgers there are.
今スタートが切られました。
The gates are open, the race is on. We do see a Daiwa Scarlet going out all the way in front early on in this race, which is problematic to see because Sakura Bakshino does need to try and overtake, but front runner straightaways and Rainbow does end up giving her a fighting chance, but it just doesn't seem like she's able to pass early on in this race. Flustered front runners activating to try and give us as much of an edge as possible to get out in front, along with the mild corners and tail held high. Shifting gears also ends up activating. Sakura Bakshino really trying to get out in front to try and stop this Daiwa Scarlet from running away with it, but we just can't seem to get in front of her to try and stop this Daiwa Scarlet from accelerating out. We are in the home stretch, and that Daiwa Scarlet is already starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Alcanda Pasa really just stuck in the middle. Just doesn't seem like she has enough stamina nor enough power to try and get ahead of anything, and unfortunately this is going to look like another loss for us today in this attempt. Something tells me that this strategy is unfortunately not going to pan out for us, I think. Doesn't seem like this strategy is really going to be able to pan out for us in this for this champions meet, unfortunately, but it's okay because we do have other strategies to employ. Man, I had much higher expectations for this Alcanda Pasa, and unfortunately we are just not hitting them. That's really unfortunate. Potato, it could be better, I'll be honest. It could be better. It could be going better. But it's okay. This is just the first attempt, so we're learning things. But yeah, it's really upsetting that this Alcanda Pasa really had higher expectations. Fortunately, we're not meeting them. Really upsetting. So the strategy that we're employing in this attempt first is we have a front runner blocker in the form of Sakura Bakshino. We have another debuffer in the form of Nice Nature, and then we have an Elcondor pace chasing ace. Unfortunately, that is not happening. We are running into a lot more problems versus these late surgers, to which I didn't think there would be that many late surgers. But so far, we're running into a lot of them. Alright, Sakura Bakshino starts with a late start, which is not good. Very bad. Subdued front runners does end up activating, though, to try and give us a little bit extra chance. Groundwork front runner traders does end up activating for Sakura Bakshino, though, which is really good. Sakura Sparkling Stardom from the Smart Falcon is problematic, but Sakura Bakshino is able to use shifting gears to get in front, which is exactly what we want to see. We want the Sakura Bakshino to get in front for this whole race, to block all the other front runners and try to generate as much of a chance for either Alcanda Pasa or even Sakura Bakshino to just close this victory out. Alcanda Pasa currently sitting in 5th place. The debuffs are coming out from Nice Nature with at a steady amount, which is really good, but it will really come down to this final corner as we get into the home stretch. 600 meters, less than 600 meters left. Prepared to pass does end up activating. Angling scheming from Sakura Bakshino does end up activating, and she is starting to accelerate at a very heavy speed, but we have to keep an eye on the late surges because they will start coming, but the debuffs are also coming out right now from the Mean Nature. Can Sakura Bakshino hold out to the last moment? Will she be able to put in one final victory? And she does, just barely, and you love to see it. At least we are not being shut out for this attempt, but 1-4 is not a good record. I mean, this is how it's supposed to work. It's either like Sakura Bakshino is our blocker, but she's like plan B. Blockishin is basically our plan B ace. If El Condor Pasa doesn't get there, hopefully Sakura Bakshino is already in the lead and everything's fine. This is our plan B. Because obviously plan A is not working. Obviously plan A is not working. But okay, 1 and 4. That's not great, but at least it's not a shutout, so I'll take that. All right, that's 1 and 4. All right, attempt 2. Attempt 2. So, let's see here. I could put in the other Blockishin that I had. Oh, that's right. I had a front running, like an actual front running block. Okay. No, I think we still keep. I think we're still gonna keep with this Sakura Bakshino. That's actually really low speed. I didn't realize that the speed was so low. It's actually really low. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. Yeah, comparing that to this one. This one's faster, but we don't have nearly as many debuffs. Like, yeah. Like, I think having all of these debuffs is kind of huge, as well as groundwork, straightaway shifting gears, all that stuff. Like, that's actually just really nice. Oh, it occurs to me that that's actually really funny. I was wondering why the groundwork was proccing, and it's because of focus, subdued frontrunners, and I think maybe target in sight. No, it's something else. It might be the frontrunner or something. Something else is proccing groundwork as well. I have a third trigger somewhere here, and I don't know where it is. It might. Oh, it might be long shot. Long shot again. The fourth favorite. It might be long shot. It's like one of these two, and then focus and subdued frontrunners. I didn't occur to me that the subdued frontrunners would proc groundwork. That's actually really interesting. That's kind of cool. All right. Unfortunately, this El Condor Pasa has failed me, and I'm sad about it. But it's okay. We have another one. We have another El Condor Pasa. Less stamina, more. No, more. Oh, less stamina, more power. Yeah, more power, less stamina, little concerning, but should be, but it's more, we're more streamlined into like, this is actually, this El Condor Pasa was specifically built for this Champions meet. I'm not too sad about this, just because this was my Taurus Cup El Condor Pasa, so like, this was specifically for Taurus Cup. I was kind of hoping that, you know, the stats and the Mile S was going to get us there. Apparently, obviously, it didn't. Sad, but whatever. These El Condor Pasas are specifically like, all right, we're here for the actual thing. So, oh, I don't actually know which one of these I want to end up using. So let's do the handy dandy of figuring out. Alright. Let's compare and contrast. So we have 1127, really. This El Condor Pasa will probably be what we pick, I think. So the guts is something to be desired. That's definitely something to be desired. I have a long S. That's interesting. Okay. Anyways. Old. Curvature. Air. All corners plus. Gormon might be nice. Also, Lone Wolf is cool. versus this Okondor. Max speed, which is nice. 553 stamina is not the worst thing. 745 is okay power. The 359 guts is cool. And 475 wit obviously could be higher, but whatever. Really kind of banking on, at least for this one, really kind of banking on the duty of dignity calls. That's kind of what I'm really banking on. But you know, we'll see. Swinging Maestro is nice. Mile corners. Oh, I did have mile corners plus on here. Spirits. All right, so this is Tokyo. 1600 meters, yeah. Summer. Okay. Ooh, it's close, actually. Actually, really close. So what we have here, it is going to be the max speed Okondor Pasa, but it's pretty close. Mean of 0.4, median of 0.39. That's actually really, really close. So our max speed Okondor Pasa is what? 0.7 seconds faster? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So max speed Okondor Pasa finishes 0.6 seconds faster than the other one. And at a top speed, but that being said, this one with Behold, is actually faster by like 0.19. Yeah. Weirdly enough, this is slower. Weirdly enough, at max speed, it's slower. Weird. But I think it's because I think that's that power. No, actually, no. This has more power. That's so odd. But this is finishing before this one is. Okay. Okay, run it. Or run the 10.1 one. We'll do 10.1. Oh. Maybe tomorrow we'll try the other Okondor Pasa. We'll try that again. See if that gets us there. But for now, for today, what I want to do is I want to do 2 attempts with blockishing, pace chasing, and then the other 2 attempts for front running aces. I at least want to do both of these for today. Then tomorrow we'll get weird with it. All right. Oh, that's a Saiyan Sky with a great mood. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate to see. Right. We're in a bad mood. That's unfortunate. We're late. Front running Okondor Pasa. That's scary. That's terrifying. Oh fuck. Oh lord. Okay. All right. Not nearly as many late surgeries here in this run. So that's interesting. Oh god. We gotta try and get in front of both. Oh god. I gotta try and get in front of this Saiyan Sky and this Okondor Pasa. That's not happening. That's not gonna happen, but we'll try. We'll certainly try. We'll do our best. Ooh, boy. All right. The gates are open. We got a good start for everybody. Groundwork does end up activating for Sakura Boxing early on in this race, which is what we like to see. But can we keep the lead? That is what will matter. Currently, having the groundwork activating for Sakura Boxing does allow us to try and hold these other front runners back, but it is going to be a very challenging uphill battle. Unyielding Spirit does end up activating for Okondor Pasa. We don't see a whole lot of debuffs coming out just yet, but we do see a couple. Flustered End Closers is one of them. Mild Corners activates and Swinging Maestro for Okondor Pasa to try, but she is in 6th place right now. Tail Held Eye and Speed Eater is really good for the blockishing strategy right now. Shifting gears as we round the final corner here. We just need to hold this lead for now, so that way the Angling Scheming doesn't end up activating, and it looks like we are good. The Angling Scheming is ours. Hesitant Pace Chasers does end up coming out for everyone else. The debuffs are starting to come out. Sakura Boxing is going down the track uncontested. We don't see any other late surgers, or we only see one other late surger and an end closer coming up, but they're coming up fast. With Sakura Boxing still has a decent lead. There's 200 meters left in this race. Can Sakura Boxing hold on strong? And she does! And we end up coming in 1st place. That is how the blockishing works. That is exactly how blockation works. Perfect. Wakanda Pasa still, unfortunately, just still not. She's just getting trapped. It's like really unfortunate. She's really just trapped and she can't get out. But good stuff. Good stuff. That's how the blockation works, baby. That's how the blockation works. All right. Well, that's one win. Let's try for 2 more. Man, that honestly, I'm very impressed in that the fact that we were able to block the Saiyan Sky and this and the Wakanda Pasa. That was crazy, actually. Especially because we were in a normal mood and both of them were in a good and great. Wild, absolutely wild. All right, let's see here. No other front runners for this race. That is actually really scary. That's kind of scary. No other front runners. So the blockation in this scenario, I don't know if it'll really work out because we are the only front runner. That being said, if we hold on, it'll be fine. Long shot, and the focus activates for Sakura Boxin O, but there is no groundwork, which is kind of the upsetting part. That is the thing that sets all the front runners. That is kind of the defining skill for this Champions Meet is groundwork. So the fact that we don't have it is a little scary, but Sakura Boxin O is the only front runner right now in this race itself. Western end closers and the front runner straightaways does end up activating as we get into the mid race right now. Nice Nature currently holding in 9th place with Wakanda Pasa coming up into the 3rd. We see a bunch of other skills starting to activate. Plus the front runners does end up activating, which is a little strange because we don't have any other front runners. Shifting gears and Miles corners end up activating. So currently, as we get near this final corner, we do have Sakura Boxin O in 1st place and Wakanda Pasa in 3rd coming out as we round the corner. Angling Scheming does end up activating to give Sakura Boxin O that extra acceleration, but will it be enough? 400 meters left in this race and the pace chasers are going to start coming, but this is where the debuffs from Mean Nature does end up being a factor. But as we see, Sakura Boxin O trying to output as much as she can, but she just doesn't have enough power, and you do see this other pace chasers coming in and securing a victory for the other teams, unfortunately. Unfortunate, just didn't have enough power to hold out. It's okay. I think if we had more debuffs here on the Sakura Boxin O, I think we probably would have gotten there. Did we have Speed Eater proc? I don't think I saw Speed Eater, which was really upsetting. Like, Speed Eater really would have helped. I don't think I saw Speed Eater proc. I don't know. Is Hesitant Pace Chasers proc? I don't know. That's weird that we got, that's so weird that we got Hesitant front runners to proc. But we're the only front runner. Yeah. We're the only front runner, so then why did it proc? Did I debuff myself? That's impossible. That's not how that works. That's so weird. That's so weird that it procced, but like, we're the only front runner. So did I just debuff myself? Because that would be insane. And before I find out that I'm literally just self-sabotaging myself. I'm just self-sabotaging. I'm like, what's happening? Alright. Let's see here. Pace. Alright, now we have a bunch of... No other front runners once again, but a lot of late searchers. Very decent amount of late searchers, so that is kind of scary. Alright, gates are open, the race is on, no groundwork once again for Sakura Boxin O, which is a little unfortunate in trying to, but she does skyrocket out into 1st place. Unyielding Spirit does end up activating for Wakanda Pasa, but unfortunately she did get a late start, so she does start, so she is kind of trailing behind in the back of the pack itself. Western Late Surgers does end up activating, which is good to try, because there are a decent amount of late surgers in this race for today. Wakanda Pasa, you can see her slowly trying to catch up and get into a better position. Mild corners does end up activating for Sakura Bakushin O, which is nice to help keep that lead, but you do see the other pace chasers are starting to catch up. Shifting gears allows Sakura Bakushin O a little bit more speed along with the mild corners from Alcantara Pasa. As we round this last corner, Sakura Bakushin O has to hold on a little bit more. Tail held high, and the Speed Eater is really good for her to have activating. Angling and Scheming does also end up activating, and the debuffs from the Mean Nature are starting to tax all the other runners to try and give her as much of a lead as possible. You do see the late surgers are starting to come out from the outside. Can Sakura Bakushin now hold on strong? There are 200 meters left, but we see a vodka coming in right next to her, and it doesn't look like Sakura Bakushin has enough power once again, and unfortunately cannot hold out at the end of the race. It's those last 100 to 200 meters. Just can't hold on. Just cannot hold on those last few in those last 100 meters. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Not enough power, unfortunately. Okay. Going again. Target sight focus for the Sakura Bakushin O is activating, which is good. We are not getting, surprisingly, we're not getting Sakura Bakushin O's ult. That's also not going off, which is really interesting. Subdued front runners does end up activating along with the groundwork and the ramp up, which is really good. Really, if Sakura Bakushin O gets that groundwork, she has a very good chance at actually winning these races. But I'm actually a little surprised that her ult's not proccing, but we are getting Angling and Scheming, which is good. But getting, like, okay, yeah, so thankfully we are getting a lot of, we're getting a lot more skills to proc here in this race. So Sakura Bakushin O does have a pretty good chance at victory here, I think, overall. As we round the last corner here, a Speed Eater does end up activating. The Angling Scheming is going to come out, giving Sakura Bakushin O a good lead. You can see the acceleration already activating at the 400-meter mark, along with the Mean Nature to try and drag everyone back as much as they possibly can. Alcantara Pasa coming in from the outside, but it doesn't look like that's going to be enough. Can Sakura Bakushin O hold out? You see a vodka coming in right behind her. It's going to be tight, but Sakura Bakushin O should be able to close it out, and she does! Just barely. Yeah, we get that groundwork. It's game-changing. That groundwork is game-changing, absolutely. Along with the tail held high, it's pretty huge. So, really, I think the thing is that, like, Bakushin really only works, obviously, if there's at least another front runner. If Bakushin's not blocking any other front runners, it doesn't do anything. It does, like, nothing. That groundwork is huge, though. That groundwork really is huge. Along with it, and then, like, along with the tail held high, like, yeah, it's really coming down to the extra skills that Sakura Bakushin O has. Alright. I think I saw another front runner. Yes, there is a Marzinski, there's another Sakura Bakushin O, and Smart Falcon, so there's a lot of competition for other front runners, so we'll see how well Bakushin can get out in front to stop them. Alright, long shot, target sight, and the focus for Sakura Bakushin O does end up activating. I don't think I saw a groundwork, which is interesting. That should have procced, but it should be okay for the most part. Front runner straightaways does end up activating along with the subdued front runners, and we do see two Sakura Bakushin O's trying to compete for the first place position right now, with ours ending up in the front here. Late surgers and flustered front runners does end up activating along with the Speed Eater. meter for the debuff, which is really good. Mile corners end up activating for Wakanda Pasa, who's currently in 6th place right now, holding strong in the middle of the pack. Miles corners also ends up activating for Soccer Box and L to try and keep that lead. There are about 800 meters left in this race itself as we get ready to round the final corner. Prepared to pass ends up activating for Wakanda Pasa. There's 600 meters left in the race. We are about to have the angling and scheming proc to give her that extra acceleration. Hesitant front runners does end up acting for both of our debuffers, along with the light surges and the hesitant pace chasers and the sharp gates. The wall is here. Can Soccer Boxing at O hold out? There is another one right behind her that is closing in, but Soccer Boxing O looks like she is able to hold strong, and the blocking machine comes in clutch. That's 3 wins out of 5. We're going to Group A, baby. Woo! Good shit. We have solidified our place in Group A, which means now we can get a little weird and mix things up. Nothing else matters. I made it to Group A. Nothing else matters. Time to just see what other stuff works and what other stuff doesn't. Good stuff. Good shit. Love it. Oh, that's gonna suck, though. Oh, that's really gonna suck going to Group A, though. That's really gonna suck. Alright. So that was cool. Loved it. I'm happy that the blockation did actually end up working out pretty decently. I'm shocked that blockation won so many of the races, but I think it's because of that Mile S, that Turf S, as well as like the power. It definitely was definitely game changing to have other front runners. If we don't have any other front runners, like a lot of this stuff is just worthless, honestly. Like truly, a lot of this stuff is worthless, but if they don't proc. So that worked out really, really well. Now, we've already made it to Group A, which is great. Love that. That'll be for like that's like day 3 that I have to worry about that. Because that's gonna be painful. Now, I want to spend these next 2 attempts in doing 3 front running aces. Which was actually going to be my core. That was actually my core strat. I made the blockation stuff originally, early on, just because I was like, oh, I already have Wakanda Pasa. I also have, like, I could quickly make another one, and then it's fine. Like, and I already had the mean nature. Like, my team was already 2/3 of the way completed, so I'm like, I really just need the block machine. And I'm like, all right, done. Boom. Put a bunch of debuff skills on him. I'm done. Move on. And then a lot of my other attempts went to front running because I didn't have anything. Now, as you can see, I have a bunch of them, for better or for worse. And so I need the front running. Our front runners are going to be Saiyan Sky, Smart Falcon, and Fuji Kiseki. These are going to be our 3 front runners. As you can see, I have a lot of them, and I need to figure out which ones are going to be probably the best one. I think for Saiyan Sky, I think it's going to be this one, which we have the Leader's Pride, Front Runner Savvy, and the Lone Wolf. The Lone Wolf is probably the one. Oh, you can't see. Yeah. But we have Leader's Pride, Front Runner Savvy, and the Lone Wolf. These are our 3 triggers for this groundwork. But one thing I'm worried about is that if this Lone Wolf doesn't proc, the groundwork then doesn't proc, and we're gonna have a big problem. We're gonna have a big fucking problem. So that is one of them. We could do this. The one. We do have this other one. Lower, not as much stamina as I would have liked, and the guts and speed and the wit are really, really bad. There is also this B+ one, which is a lot better. Not as much speed, decent amount of stamina, decent amount of power. This one also has Firm Conditions, Leader's Pride, and Front Runner Savvy. I should actually look. Yeah, summer, sunny, good conditions. Good conditions is the same as firm conditions, right? I think so. Oops. I think it is. I think so. The firm conditions should proc, I think. I hope. God, I hope. So that is also another option. You could rock this Saiyan Sky. And then the third one that's in the running is this Saiyan Sky, which not as much power, pretty decent amount of stamina, definitely not as much speed though. But we do have firm conditions, targeting sight, the front runner stabby, and even the leader's pride to try and as like a little backup. So in case like this is always gonna proc, in case one of these two don't proc, we have leader's pride. If both of these end up not procking, we are fucked. But I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna run this one because I think this has the highest chance. Really, what I should do is I should actually just compare and contrast them because that would be the smart thing. Let's do that. 1024, 663, 70, 51. Front runner, A's across the board, and shooting star. We have flashy landing, professor, camp up, speed eater, front runner straightaways. Leader's pride, front runner savvy, on work, wolf, other Saiyan Sky. I'm not even gonna consider this one, and it's just because the guts in the win are just so low. Like it's just so low. Also, I think this only has 2 triggers for groundwork, which is bad because you need 3. Focused, front runner savvy, and that's it. So this is out of the running. This is actually out of the running. Let's go to this one. Saints 637. Front running A's. I do like this Saiyan Sky a lot, and it's because we have the sparkly stardom. I was like, I made it a point to have the sparkly stardom on Saiyan Sky, and it's because sparkly stardom is actually a really good skill for frontrunners in general because it activates mid-race. And because it activates mid-race, it gives us a little bit of extra speed to hold that lead and to try and stay out in front, so that way it basically buys us more time to try and get to angling and scheming. All right, compare. Our winner is going to be, for between these two, is going to be this 10,000 one. As far as stats go, again, pretty close. Wait, what? No, okay, yeah. So the 10,000 Saiyan Sky finishes 0.07 seconds faster, and is 0.01 meters per second faster, which is kind of crazy. It's close, though. It is very close. So both of these are very good contenders. Both of these are very, very good contenders. Let's take a look at this one. Put it up against the 10,000 one. What is this? Lower speed, higher stamina, lower power, higher guts, and a little bit lower wit is the comparison. Okay. This is Bakushin. Firm plus target. Professor. Fast paced. Here's front runner straightaways plus. Leaders. Front runner savvy plus. It's still gonna come to this 10,000. So that is one of those. Okay. Next is going to be that's it. Oh god, which one is? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's like I think it's this one. I think this is the one that I want. I'm pretty sure. This one doesn't have groundwork though. This one doesn't have groundwork, but we do have a shit ton of power and speed, which was kind of awesome. So let's do, all right. So Smart Falcon. We'll see how big that, how big of a deal groundwork is. All right. Let's see. Oh, we have a B in turn. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize this was a B. Oh. This may not pan out the way that I want it to, unfortunately. We can try. Triumphant. Professor. Fast pace. Watchful Eye. Trick. Front runner straightaways plus. Leaders. Front runner savvy plus. Symphony. Ooh. Okay. Then I have a lot of smart goblins. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this one. Well, this is 1200. 449. That's really low stamina. 260. 438. Sea and turf? What is? Why is there a sea and turf? Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Why did I think of keeping this around? Ooh. All right, shooting for victory. Hopefully not all. I hope all of these aren't. Did I just like just not think about what the aptitudes were? Am I not paying attention? Left-handed. Greater recovery. Good for this one because we need the stamina. Fast-paced. Final push. Shifting. But rather savvy. Lucky 7, which is really funny. I really wanted the gambling to work on this one. Really wanted to go gambling on this one. Really, really wanted to go gambling. Okay. Who wins? Alright. The double S, the A plus is still winning out. It's 0.8 seconds. No. It's 0.2. Yeah, it's 0.2 seconds faster. With a top speed difference of 0.9. Kind of crazy, actually. At 0.9, okay. So the A plus is, this A plus might be where we're at, which is kind of insane. But I think that's because of just raw stats. Like, genuinely. Alright, let's try for this one. Whoops. Give it 11,000 speed. 413 is awesome. 1. With an aptitude of A. Good. What we want. Triumphant. Angling. Go first. Left-handed. Tokyo race course. Straightaway acceleration. Straightaway recovery. Focus. Fast-paced. Front runner, straightaways. Leader's pride. There's no groundwork on here? Oh, there's no groundwork? Holy. Okay. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's problematic. Ooh. Ooh. They are finishing They're finishing at the same time, actually. These two are finishing at the same time. 7 points. I'm blocking it again. 7.667. 7.667. So they're both finishing at the same time. But this one is still, the 1200, the A plus is still faster by 0.12. No, 0.22. 0.22. There's 24.5 and 24.3. Okay. All right. So A plus is technically still winning, despite the fact that on average, Umamusume, the second Smart Falcon, is on average coming out ahead. Interesting. That's crazy. Okay. Let's assume that it's still that one. This is so low. Why are these so low? I don't remember any of these being so low. Why are these so low? Wing. Our ticket. Heck. Rooted. Paste. Unrestrained. Runner straightaways. Leader's pride. Runner savvy. No contest. No contest. And I think it's because groundwork's not proccing. Let me see here. Oh, no, it is. It is proccing, but it's just not. I think it's the stamina. We're burning out too fast. Yeah, that one's just not gonna work out. What's that one? That's that A ray. Why do I have this A ray? I think it's. Oh, it's probably for the ground. Okay. What's this one? Oh, this is a different one. This is a different Falcon. Falcon. Why do I have this Falcon? Huh. Let's just get the ground. Oh, we'll need to transfer this one at some point. Same with this one. I can't take this. This is E and turf. I can't take this. I can't take these. I think these are parents. Yeah, I think these ones are parents. Yeah, I think this one and this one are parents. I'm pretty sure. Right, go to this one. All right, this is a little bit better. Oh Lord. Maybe I thought I was done with Smart Falcon runs. Apparently I wasn't. I should have done more. What I'm realizing. We do have an S in front though, which is angling and scheming. Professor. Focus. Haste. Unrestrained. Mile corners. Front runner savvy. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Okay. This is probably our going to be our choice here. This one is actually beating out like just all across the board here. Point what? 0.27 seconds faster, which is interesting. Not as fast though. Still coming at top speed at 24.47 versus 20.06. But we're finishing at a pretty decent margin. Like we're still ahead overall from everything else. Yeah, I think this is going to be our choice for as far as things go. We could. I think it's this one I think it's this one, this 9.9, the 12.1, and this 10. Yeah, this 10,000 are going to be kind of what we can. We can switch around. We can switch some stuff around if we really want to, but I think we go with this 10,000. This 10,000 smart number. That's what. Okay. Next is next is Fuji Kiseki. All right. This is gonna be kind of hard because there's a lot of them. I ran a lot of Fuji Kiseki, and it's because I kind of had to. It's because I kind of had to. Not gonna use that one. Left-handed fair conditions. Yes. Okay. This is a decent one that could work. Let's try this one. Fuji Kiseki. Fuji Kiseki is not added into this comparison tool, which is problematic, actually. So we might have to just go off of vibes. I actually can't compare these two. Oh, that's unfortunate. Is there a compare tool in Game Tora? Compare characters. Aha. Oh, no, I can't. No, because this is going to tell me this is like base stats. I can actually input stats. No. Okay. Okay. Damn it. All right. We're going off of vibes. Yeah, we're going to go off of vibes here. Oh, okay. Okay. So, if I have to go off vibes, let's see here. This has pretty decent power and speed. This is actually, but it's really low stamina. I would personally like higher stamina. Yeah. Standard distance, focus, leader's pride. Okay. 46. Who has the highest? 514, 509. 1. Unfortunately, though, current conditions. Yeah, we don't have any triggers for groundwork. We have 1 conditions. That's unfortunate. 597 is not bad, but it's pretty low. Standard distance. Cloudy days, actually, I don't think it's gonna proc. Focus, maybe get there. From rush straightaways also maybe gets there. Leader's pride, there's no groundwork here, unfortunately. Left-handed, firm conditions, Tokyo race course. Okay, groundwork. Okay, this is pretty good. And sunny days, dodging danger. Oh, right. Okay. I think it's between 9.6, 9.9, and okay. Let's run. Oh, no. Really don't know. Okay. Let's run this one because we have left-handed, firm conditions, Tokyo race course. These are kind of big systole, mile corners. Yeah. This does have higher speed though. It's the stamina so low is what scares me. But we do have swinging maestro to help us out. Okay, let's try this. We'll go from there. Okay, let's run this. Let's run this, see what happens. That's upsetting that the comparison tool doesn't have Fuji Kiseki in it. That's actually kind of surprising. And a little upsetting, honestly. I'm not gonna be able to use it for like other stuff. Yeah, this needs to get updated. All right, we're going pure front running here. That is a strat. Cool. 2 out of the 3 of our racers are in a bad mood. It's nothing else. It's nothing. There's nothing else. It's all cool. Cool. It's a front running game. Who has the better front runner? 4 pace chasers, 5 front runners. This is going to be a bloodbath. Alright. All the skills early on, they end up proccing. The groundwork, the left-handed, the Tokyo Racehorse, the front runner, Savvy. They all are coming out all at once. So currently, with our front-running gauntlet, we do have Sparkly Stardom activating for our Smart Falcon, who is currently in the lead, along with Saiyan Sky following in third place right now. This is why we have the Sparkly Stardom, though, because it procs midway or too early on into the race. Big Sicily ends up activating for Fuji Kiseki, who is trailing behind in 6th place right now. Currently, our Saiyan Sky is in 3rd right now, with who drops down to 4th, because there's another Fuji Kiseki coming out from the outside, which is kind of scary. Ours is dropping down to 7th, but Smart Falcon is holding strong in 5th place currently right now. Professor Curvature does end up activating along with the Miles Corners to try and get a little bit of extra speed going on here, but Smart Falcon holding strong as we get to the last 600 meters of this race. Can we hold out enough to have the angling scheming activated? We do. The acceleration is coming out. Can she hold strong? Smart Falcon holding strong for now for the most part. Currently, there are only pace chasers and front runners here, but you do see a Fuji Kiseki coming in from the outside in the last 200 meters. Can Smart Falcon hold strong to this lead? It doesn't look like it. Fuji Kiseki does end up pulling ahead. Unfortunately, there is nothing left in the tank for Smart Falcon, and we do end up coming into 2nd place. And our Saiyan Sky and Fuji got fucked. We got fucked. Ouch. This was a pace chaser. Oh my god. Lordy. Wow. That's crazy. What do you want to know? Because everything like just went off, I don't know what procced and what didn't. Like, I really have no idea what procced and what didn't. I do want to know if was there a lone wolf somewhere? I don't think I saw that proc. But again, there's so much stuff went off that it's just like Venus Pride may not have gone off. So this is, I do want to know. I do want to know what the conditions are. It says they're good. I don't know if that means firm or not. I don't think it does. No, I think it's good, firm, good, soft, and heavy. So I think wet. It is wet conditions then. Could not find any opponents. I should just win by default. If you don't find me opponents, I should just win by default. It's bull. I can actually look this up. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So wet conditions is on good, soft, and heavy ground. Yeah. So, all right. So that does put us in. That does actually is problematic for us because that means that Fuji Kiseki is not gonna. This is not gonna proc. Which means that groundworks is not gonna proc, which would explain a lot. So that's good to know. Okay, that's fine. That's kind of what I figured. That's what I figured. Alright, so this Fuji Kiseki is not going to pan out the way I want it to. Unfortunately, all the other ones should, so that's fine. Alright, the race is on. Smart Falcon fighting for the first place spot at the 1400 meter mark, along with Saiyan Sky trailing behind in third place right now. Sparkly Stardom does end up activating to give us a little bit of extra things. Big Sisterly and groundwork for Fuji Kiseki, actually. That's huge that the groundwork procs off of Big Sisterly, potentially. That's actually awesome. That's sick as hell. Fuji Kiseki and Smart and Saiyan Sky currently fighting for 3rd and 4th place right now, which is really good to see. Fuji Kiseki currently fighting in 3rd place with Saiyan Sky. They're trading behind, but they need to try and get past that soccer box and to try and have a backup plan here as we get to the end of this race. We are rounding the last quarter, the 600-meter mark. Fast pace ends up activating for Smart Falcon, who is holding strong. The angling steaming ends up, and you can see the acceleration coming out. Unrestrained also ends up activating. 400 meters left in this race, and Smart Falcon is holding strong, but you can see a couple runners from the outside are also starting to catch up. There's 200 meters left. Can Smart Falcon hold on to this lead and be able to cross the line in 1st place? No, unfortunately, she can't. There's just not enough power once again. And we are robbed by a late surging vodka. So close, but we just aren't fast enough. Damn it. It's just not enough power. We're losing the power struggle. We're definitely losing the power struggle. Okay. If only we were just a little bit faster. Honestly, Smart Falcon's holding their own for sure, which is good. The big sisterly procking groundwork. Insane. That's crazy that works. That's so crazy that works. Alright, late start for Saiyan Sky, unfortunately, and I believe we are only having one groundwork proc for our 3 aces, but it is coming from Smart Falcon, which is good. Currently, our 3 frontrunners are holding the top 3 slot, which is good, but you do see an Oguri Cap trying to come in from the outside and passing our other 2 frontrunners. Big Sisterly does end up activating for Fuji Kiseki to give us a little bit of extra breathing room, but that Oguri Cap is right next to the other 2 front runners right now. Professor Curvature and Mild Corners activating for our aces, which is really nice to see. 800 meters left, and we do see that Oguri Cap is catching up very quickly. Smart Falcon does not have any other skills activating, unfortunately. Unrestrained does end up activating, but there was no Sparkly Stardom to activate midway into this race. Angling Steaming does end up activating to give us a little bit of extra acceleration, but will it be enough? Narita Taishin coming from the outside, and they are coming very, very fast along with the other late surgers and pace chasers, but it looks like they are going to overtake, and unfortunately Smart Falcon once again just doesn't have the power to keep up. We are losing out to the gamblers. We're losing out to end closers and late surgers, which is insane. Like, actually insane. We're flat out losing out to pure power. And honestly, we shouldn't, is the thing. It's like, we shouldn't be losing out, and yet we are, which is kinda crazy. Especially because I think what's also really interesting is that the thing that shocks me the most is that the late surger end closer strategy is supposed to be like the more inconsistent strategy. So the fact that we should be winning. The fact that there aren't as many, I'm not running into nearly as many front runners is kind of insane. Like, I would have expected there to be way more front runners. I see a groundwork for Smart Falcon. I did not see a groundwork for Saiyan Sky, unfortunately, and she is rushing a little bit, which is going to tax her a decent amount. 1,400 meters left in the course itself. Saiyan Sky does end up catching up a little bit. Sparkly Stardom does end up activating for Smart Falcon this time, along with the leader's pride from Saiyan Sky, which is good. Fujikiseki holding strong in around 3rd place, and Saiyan Sky around 4th place right now. Front runner straightaways does end up activating, but we do have a Soccer Box Shino right behind, currently in 2nd place. Our other 2 aces are trying to compete with the other front runners, but there are a lot in this race for this round. 800 meters left, mile corners, along with the Professor Curvature does end up activating for the other 2 aces, but currently Smart Falcon holding strong in this final corner as per usual. 600 meters left in it. Unrestrained ends up activating along with the angling and scheming to try and give her the extra acceleration, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a game. 400 meters left, and you can see that Oguri Cap in 2nd place, slowly catching up and about to overtake. Smart Falcon just doesn't have enough in the tank to give her enough of an edge to try and close out, and it also seems like Saiyan Sky and Fujikiseki are really just struggling overall in these races. I think what we're gonna end up doing in our next attempt is we'll keep the Smart Falcon, because she's doing well. She's getting 2nd place, which is good. But we need to sub out. I have to sub out this Fujikiseki, and I have to sub out this Saiyan Sky. Unfortunately, these 2 are just they're not getting there. This Fujikiseki definitely is not gonna get there. The firm conditions isn't activating. Big Sisterly does activate, but like it's random. So like if it doesn't activate early on, then the groundwork doesn't proc, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, the Smart Falcon is doing well. But definitely the next attempt, Saiyan Sky and Fujikiseki definitely need to sub them out. Definitely need to sub them out. I think our problem, though, our problem is we don't have enough power. We really just don't have enough power, which is kind of insane. It's really surprising that we don't have enough power, but that might also be because of, like, okay. That also might just be because of the fact that we didn't have, we just don't have the debuffs. Like, those debuffs are just so massive for us, honestly. But anyways, the race is on. Saiyan Sky does end up getting a bit of a late start, but the ramp up front runner straightaways does end up activating to proc the groundwork, which is really good to give her a little bit of extra edge. Who is currently in 3rd place. Sparkly Stardom activates for Smart Falcon to keep her lead, but Saiyan Sky does also end up rushing, which is not good, but you can see her trying to catch up to 2nd place, who is Marizensky. Fujikiseki is currently holding down the fort in 6th place, and it doesn't look like she's going to be able to break out of the pack as much as we would like her to. Flashy Lending for Saiyan Sky also ends up activating, who drops down to 4th place. There are a lot of front runners here as we round the last corner, and Unrestrained and Angling Scheming does end up activating for Smart Falcon. It does look like we have a pretty good chance to win this race. What it looks like, Shooting Star ends up activating for the Saiyan Sky, who is competing for 2nd place. She might be able to pull it out, but it is unclear. Smart Falcon, though, is completely alone and will easily cross 1st place in this race, so we do get a win on the board. Very nice. Alright, that's at least one. That's one win. Right, 1 and 4 once again. Not bad. Not great, but okay, you know, respectable. Alright, so we are going to... we're gonna have this Saiyan Sky, or this Smart Falcon, I believe is going to be our... So let's have this be our ace. This Smart Falcon's gonna be our ace here. The Seiyun Sky, we went with this one, this 10,000, and that didn't go well. that went really poorly. So the next option is going to be this. Not this one. I think it's this one. So this is going to be. But that being said, oh no, we're fine. It's like oh, firm condition's not gonna proc, but that's why we have focus, leader's pride, and front runner savvy. This is why we have these 3 skills right here. So that I think is going to help out with ground. So I think we go here. And then this for Fuji Kiseki, this obviously didn't go well because firm conditions isn't gonna proc. So the groundwork's not gonna proc. We're in danger. We can try this one. We have not as much stamina, but we do have more speed. And a little bit more power as well. So that should help us out, as well as the swinging maestro. So we have not as much stamina, but that's why we have swinging maestro. We will definitely get the sunny days, the front runner, the savvy. The dodging danger should help, in theory. As long as it procs, the groundwork should proc, in theory. I think that's where we're at right now. Because this doesn't have groundwork. Cloudy days, I don't think Cloudy days isn't gonna proc. That's not gonna work. We could go for this one. Firm conditions isn't gonna proc though. Groundwork's not gonna proc. That's not enough. There's no groundwork here, which is great. This might work. We could try this one too. Okay. You know what? Let me go ahead and just. We can't use Fuji Kiseki. We can use another front runner. So let's just do that as our comparison, which is going to be really awkward. So I'm just going to use Silent Suzuka as my comparison. Snowy days doesn't matter. Target might work. Amp up. So that's the 11. Okay. Start here. You don't. That's not gonna proc anything. 1, 2, 3. Professor. Yielding Spirit. Pride. Alright, let's see here. The 11.1 does win by a pretty significant margin. Let's see here. Okay, let's try this. I do have to take these all with like a grain of salt because obviously I can't actually use Fujikiseki as a comparison. But this will give me at least a decent idea. It'll point me in a direction at the very least. Wow, so now I'm not like completely blind. Still wins. But again, pretty significant margin. But fairly significant. Didn't I just try this one? What is this one? Oh no. This is win. This is the 10,000. Oh, okay, that's fine. Currently, select that, so that way I know which one. Okay. Let's try. Let's not do that. This one. Let's see if this will win. I don't think it will, but it might win off of pure stats. Just maybe. Hard to say. Blink, spark. Firm. Which won't activate. Professor. Sister. Front runner straightaways. Front runner corners. Rowdy. It's close. It's pretty close, but the 10,000 one does still work. This is still winning. Okay. But it's close. It's close though. Next is this one. So what about this one? $8.95. Angling, sparkly, standard distance will activate. Cloudy, Cloudy's not gonna activate. Professor, focus. Six. Front straightaways. Front corners. Ground work. No. Also not gonna work. Okay. This one doesn't have groundwork, so that's probably not gonna work. This is also probably not gonna work, because again, firm conditions isn't gonna proc, but compare. While groundwork isn't like, it's not necessary, it is highly, highly recommended. So, left-handed. Tokyo. Firm, which will not. Dead. All corners. Sister. Yeah. And then this is the one that I think we just ran, right? This one? No. I think it's the one I just ran. I think. Question mark. No, I can't tell now. Angry, sparkly, sunny days. Lesser curvature. Swinging maestro. Dodging danger. Oh, this is not this. Front runner set. This one might actually work pretty well. No. No. It's a little too slow still. Let's stand it. Okay. So we go with this one. This is our Fuji. Run with her. Okay. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's really awkward. Obviously, I gotta take that with a grain of salt because I can't use Fujikiseki as my comparison. This should be kind of the team. This should be the team. We'll see. All right. Here we go. Let's try this out. Alright, see focus, front runner sabi, wet conditions. I did not see a groundwork proc at all for any of our runners, which is actually concerning. Leader's Pride, there you go. Leader's Pride for Saiyan Sky, which gives us the groundwork, which is good. But unfortunately, we are struggling a little bit for the lead in first place. There is a Saiyan Sky right in front of us that is giving us a run for our money. Fast pace and ramp up is activating for Fujikiseki. The mile corner is the Smart Falcon along with the Professor Curvature. Fujikiseki trying to launch ahead to get into first place, but it looks like we can only get to places 2 to 4 right now. We cannot seem to catch up to that other Saiyan Sky, which is really, really upsetting. As we round that last corner, that Saiyan Sky is gonna run ahead of us because the angling scheming will end up proccing, which is unfortunate. It seemed like we didn't get any of our groundwork stuff to activate, which is upsetting. Lights of Vaudeville does end up activating for Fujikiseki, but is that going to be enough of a match against the angling and scheming? I really don't know. It doesn't look like it. That Saiyan Sky is light years ahead of all of us, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to hold strong. We also have a late surging Grass Wonder coming in from the outside that is going to steal the second place spot from us, and that Saiyan Sky just light years ahead and is going to be defeating us, and the best that we can do is take third place. What happened? What happened? Like, just actually, what happened? So the groundwork proc for Saiyan Sky. It didn't proc for... Smart Falcon from what it looked like. So I don't know what happened there. And then it didn't proc either for Fujikiseki. Maybe it did, and there's a lot of stuff that activates. Like maybe it did and I just didn't see it. But yeah. Didn't see a groundwork proc though. It must have been, maybe it just didn't, yeah, maybe the skills just didn't proc. Because, like, they can not. That's why, because you want the green skills to proc, because they'll always activate, versus everything else is, like, a chance. So maybe maybe focus just didn't go off for whatever reason. I thought focus always went off, but maybe not. 7 front runners and 2 late searchers. There's 2 lasers and 2 grass wonders. Everything else is a front runner. God. Now we get front runners. Now they're here. Groundwork, I see there's a groundwork for Smart Falcon, which is good. Target sight, wet conditions, early lead. There's a groundwork for Fuzikiseki as well, which is good. The early lead will kind of screw us a little bit, though, for Fujikiseki, because early lead, the activation is a little bit nerfed, which is awkward, but it's okay for the most part, maybe. Ramp up activating for Fujikiseki as well. Smart Falcon fighting that other Saiyan Sky for first place, but Fujikiseki is able to overtake, which is good, and to put her and is going to be fighting the Saiyan Sky instead for second, which is good to have a bit of a plan B. Saiyan Sky hardcore struggling though, unfortunately, in 6th place, but right now we are rounding the last corner. Smart Falcon trying to hold on to that first place position to allow the angling and scheming to activate. Fast pace ends up going off, 600 meters left, unrestrained to give us a little bit extra, and we do get the angling and scheming, which is really good, but we do have to worry about the late surgers in the back. There are 2 of them, and they are going to be a threat. Lights of Oppo activate to Fujikiseki, who is currently in 3rd place. The Smart Falcon currently alone in 1st, holding very, very strong. Can she hold strong? Can she keep it up for the last 200 meters? She's holding out. She looks like she's all alone, and Smart Falcon is going to cross the line in 1st place, with Fujikiseki, I believe, coming in 3rd, and that is good enough. That is a win on the board. Ooh. 6th place. Ooh, that's rough. Saiyan Sky, what's going on, man? What's going on? Like, truly, what's going on? I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know what's going on. I guess Focus, Leader's Pride, and Frontrunner, I guess these are just, like, not activating, I guess. I think Frontrunner Savvy is activating, and I think maybe Focus is getting there, too. I think Leader's Pride just isn't activating, and we're just not getting there, unfortunately. Thankfully, Smart Falcon's doing stuff. Thank God. Thank God Smart Falcon's doing the work. Fujikiseki's doing better, but I think this early lead is, and the low stamina I think is really, really fucking us. Like, I think that low stamina is really putting a number on us. That's 1 win. I'm happy. It's not a complete shutout. As long as I don't get shut out, really I'm happy for that. I just don't want to get shut out. Alright, Smart Falcon in a bad mood. Unfortunate, because she is our ace. she's our definite ace, because she's doing the best out of anyone else. Alright, looking for groundwork triggers. Smart Falcon does get a groundwork, so she is setting the stage. Early lead ends up acting for Fujikiseki, and we do have all 3 of our front runners currently occupying the top 5 slots. Fujikiseki drops down to 3rd place, who was in 2nd. Sparkly Stardom does end up activating for a Smart Falcon, which is really good to try and allow her to keep that lead as much as she possibly can. Especially also activating for Fujikiseki. Fast pace for Smart Falcon. Hopefully Fujikiseki can try to catch up to this other Smart Falcon in 2nd to try to serve as a bit of a buffer for our leading Falcon, but it doesn't look like she's able to quite close the gap, so this will be a little scary. 800 meters left in this race itself. Fast pace activates Fujikiseki to try and do what she can. You can see the pack is starting to trail behind, with Smart Falcon currently holding a very strong lead in this last 600 meters. Angling scheming does end up activating, so the acceleration does start to climb and generate as much of the lead as she possibly can. There's 400 meters left, and it doesn't look like any of the other runners are going to be able to catch up. It looks like Smart Falcon is going to be able to secure another win. She's ahead by 6 lengths, and she's looking very good. Smart Falcon easily crosses the line in 1st place. Love it. That's 2. 2 wins. Ooh. Alright. Again, I don't know what's going on between these 2. I think for Fuji, it's the early lead that is actually kind of messing us up, as well as the low stamina. And groundwork, I think, is just not proccing. And then Saiyan Sky, again, I really think that it's just not activating. I think the skills just aren't there for the groundwork to activate, unfortunately. But thankfully, Smart Falcon putting in the work. carrying this team on her back as the true Umadol she is.
Iい感じに気合が乗っていますね。芝のコースで力を十分発揮できそうですね。
Don't mind me, I'm just choking. Everything's fine.
ゆったりと流れる美しい雲、青空広がる東京レース場。前日に降った雨のため絶好とは言えないやや重発表となりました。
このくらいの馬場の方が合っている馬娘もいますからね。
さあ、一番人気の紹介です。2大スプリント覇者、3番桜爆心王。実力は負けていません。2番人気グランプリウマ娘、1番エルコンドルパサー。注目のここまで無敗2大ダート戦覇者スマートファルコン、6枠6番での出走。
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。さあ、ゲートが開いた。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね。
先行争いは3番桜爆心王、スマートファルコン、2番桜爆心王、1番エルコンドルパサー。ペースが速い。先頭集団を見ていきましょう。最高の瞬間、みんなに届けちゃう。先頭
Okay, I'm back. Everything's okay. Alright, Saiyan Sky gets a late start, which is not great to see, and there is no, I did not see a groundwork proc for any of our front runners, unfortunately, but the Sparkly Stardom does end up activating for Smart Falcon to put her in the lead at a solid first place. But Sakura Bakshino is right behind, trying to get ahead of her. Saiyan Sky currently dropping from 3rd to 4th, with Fuji Kiseki currently in 5th, and the Sakura Bakshino does end up getting past that Smart Falcon, which is not good to see as we get to the last corner of the race with 600 meters left. It doesn't seem like the Angling Scheming is going to be able to proc, unfortunately, which is going to be a huge detriment for us. We are being effectively blocked for this race, and unfortunately, I think that is all that we are going to be able to give for this race itself, and we are unfortunately not going to be having enough power to accelerate to the end, and we are going to be coming in 4th place. Unfortunate that I don't really think I saw a groundwork stop for anybody. Really unfortunate, honestly. Oh god, it's actually so crazy that like it's so crazy that groundwork's not proccing, because it's simply because of our yellow skills aren't activating to get groundwork there, which like on paper I shouldn't be that surprised, but I am really surprised, because through all of my other races, like even going through the career, they proc they activate. So the fact that they aren't activating now is kind of crazy. It's a little insane that like now they decide, oh, we're actually just not gonna act. Especially like skills like Focus, too, that I feel like they have like a 99% chance to activate, and I'm just hitting that 1% where it doesn't. Alright, Focus. The groundwork for Smart Falcon does end up activating to allow her to try and get into the lead, but we are dealing with a Silent Suzuka, and she is going to give us a run for our money. Leader's Pride ends up activating for Fuji Kiseki, but I don't think I saw groundwork, unfortunately, for her. Sparkly Stardom does end up activating, though, for both of them, but Fuji Kiseki does end up actually entering into 1st place in the surprising turn of events, with a Smart Falcon trailing behind in 3rd. Fuji Kiseki is starting to be rushed a little bit, so that will tax her on her stamina, though, so I am going to be a little concerned overall as we get to the end of the race itself. Fast pace and pressure curvature along with the mile corners do end up acting for our other runners. Speed Eater does tax the other runners behind Fuji, which is really good, because that Silent Suzuka is right behind her on the heels. So 600 meters left in this race, and it looks like Fuji Kiseki is going to be able to get the Angling Scheming to allow her to accelerate, but will it be enough? It doesn't seem like it's going to be a whole lot of an acceleration feat, and you can see Grass Wonder coming in from the outside, and she is gaining very fast. Lights of Vaudeville did not activate either, but Fuji Kiseki trying to hold on as much pushes by the camera. Science Suzuka from the inside is going to overtake her, unfortunately, and Fujiki Seki is going to be coming in third place. Just not enough power to hold on. If we had gotten lights, that may have helped us a little bit more, but unfortunately, we just couldn't get there. The time for lights to Vodful to activate, and it really just did not end up happening. So unfortunate to see. Heartbreaking, truly. A truly heartbreaking performance. But alright, that is, I believe that is going to be the end of day 1 for our Cancer Cup. We did pretty okay overall. We were able to get into Group 1, which is really, really good. I'm happy about that overall. As far as which strategy we're gonna go with, I honestly don't know. I might actually go with the Blockmachine, because that got us 3 wins. And we actually, like Sakura Bokushino, we got a 40% win rate, which is kind of insane. It's actually really insane. Smart Falcons a 30%. We could run those. I don't know what we can do about Saiyan Sky and Fujiki Seki, unfortunately. I'm considering doing Smart Falcon and then sub out one of these two for Mean Nature instead, for just debuffing purposes, you know? We could do that, but I'm not entirely sure what all I want to do just. Let's take a look at the list here. Second here. So we could try. Actually, what did we just? And you see what we just ran. So we did this Fujiki Seki. I might sub out for the later one, the one with the dodging danger, because that's a pretty close. Oh, is it close? It might actually not be that close. It's actually not that close. It's actually pretty bad. Currently this Fujiki Seki is the one that's really putting in the work. Despite that though, but we are doing pretty not great overall. I mean, we're not winning, but we're getting second, which is really good. We have to do something about the Saiyan Sky. The Saiyan Sky is not performing to the point that I really need it to. Fortunately, it's a 10. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is our best Saiyan Sky, and it's just not getting there. We're just not getting there. It's the 9.9 and the 10. What other Saiyan Skies do we have that could? Let's see. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. This might work, maybe. Yeah, this could work. Maybe we try this one. Yeah, maybe we try this 9.2 Saiyan Sky next time. Just to see. But then, as far as Fujiki Seki goes, I'm pretty certain we could also try the 11 Seki. We did the 9.9 and we did the 10. We did this one, which was okay, but like, eh. We did this one. Also went pretty okay, but I think we burned out really bad. Could try this one, but Groundworks is not gonna act. So I don't know how great that is. Yeah, I think we try this. I think next time we're gonna try this 9.6 Fujiki Seki. Try that tomorrow. See if that will work. Try this 9.6 Saiyan Sky. This Smart Falcon, though, doing great. I have no reason to change it, I'll be honest. I don't want to change to this Smart Falcon, but I really don't know. I think maybe we do it for a run. We're already in Group A, so we can have tomorrow just be for trying stuff out. But I don't think this will be worth it, despite having so much power. But maybe, who knows? Maybe it will be actually worth it. We'll try also. Maybe we'll also try this other Smart Falcon too. We'll try a bunch of other Smart Falcons. We know which one. We know which ones. We know which Smart Falcons really like putting in the effort, putting in the work. So it's fine. What's pruning position? It is early race. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have a bunch of Smart Falcons to try stuff. So maybe we'll try some more stuff tomorrow. I really want to try and figure out the Smart Falcon or this Fuji Kiseki and the Saiyan Sky. Honestly, if these end up not panning out, I think we'll just sub one of these out for Mean Nature eventually, and we'll take whichever one does better. It'll probably be the Fuji Kiseki, because right now Saiyan Sky is just not. He's not doing good. It's real bad. It's real unfortunate. Real struggle busting hours here, honestly. So. But I think on that note, guys, that is it for me tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to the stream. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, actually, for a special weekend stream. I'll actually be streaming tomorrow and Sunday because of the Champions Meet. So we'll be doing that over the weekend. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably start at around. Let's say I'll try to start at around like 9 Eastern, normal-ish times for the most part. So be on the lookout for that. Also Sunday we'll be doing the main story for Umamusume because the new chapter just came out. So we'll be doing that on Sunday. So that'll be really exciting. But as always, though, my name is Shogun Shin. You, the audience, and I will see you guys next time.